we are. Sunny England calling. For those of you who were watching the recording, we missed you. This was live, honestly. And so it's fly by the seat of your pants time. And somebody's lurking in the background anyway. So it's just you and me at the moment. So whatever, Matthias, good evening. We're going to press on now. I feel new liberation. Things are changing. Things are moving on, which is good. And certain things have been happening to us, and we both felt that perhaps we're going to be moving physically at some point because we have this situation. Where people are around us are all moving in. Good evening, Charmaine. People are moving on. We just took a card to a neighbour a couple of doors down here who are moving away from the area. We took a card over yesterday, and both felt perhaps we'll be moving soon, but eventually we've got things to deal with out here. We had a bit of an oil spill, a heating oil spill out here, and this is all going to be fixed and remedial work and all that kind of stuff, which is all a bit of a pain, but nevertheless anyway, and then hopefully we'll move on from there. We've been here a long time, and I just feel we want to go forwards and upwards, and I hope that's how you feel. Lots of people are feeling that things are changing and things are moving forward at last, and you feel a little bit of movement, a little bit of movement, a little bit of movement, but it's not full flow just yet. However, I suspect that, good evening, Jim, I suspect we're going to see a scenario with us, Michael, good evening, which is very common, and you must prepare for this, and that's sobbing goats. Sobbing goats, you get one of Satan's ways of getting into a camp of sheep is the goats really, really don't want to be goats. I mean, you get some goats who have got a religious bent, and they are determined to be seen to be sheep, and so subsequently they're pushing hard at every opportunity to try and get into the camp of the goats, because they don't want to be seen to be goats. Preservemybackside.com is the sort of cry of the bulk of them. So we're going to start anyway for a bit of encouragement for the hearts of the sheep. Okay, and I'm going to read just briefly from Philippians 2, verse 13. For it is God which works in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Do all things without murmurings and disputings, that you may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom you shine as lights in the world. I want you to notice that it says not lights to the world or for the world. You shine as lights in the world. That's us. You're filled with the Spirit of God. You are a light in the world. The light does not appreciate, the darkness does not appreciate the light. And if you're a light in the world amongst a whole load of cockroaches, they tend to scatter. Cockroaches do not like the lights being switched on, and they fly in all directions, But nevertheless, this is the only way you can show anyone that you're right and you've got the things of God and they're wrong, because blatantly you're in that which they only talk about. In this past week, I had the unpleasant experience of checking up on somebody I'd heard of and I vaguely knew about, a man who's formerly a Baptist man who starts and run an organisation in the UK called the Oasis Trust. He came to light because he suddenly started doing pervert weddings, buggers union and bonded dikery, and all this kind of stuff, and introduced everything that was wrong in that particular assembly, Oasis Church in Waterloo in London. And he was doing all this stuff just to, kind of show that everyone's included. Now, this is the exact opposite of us. Now, these people's thinking is around, it's caustic, it will damage our faith if we allow it. But here, and these things make me absolutely furious, I have to say, even today, I know that, they're around, I know they're there, and I know that they're always going to be there, but it still makes me very angry indeed to see someone who names the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, who gave his life to save his sheep out of sin unto himself, to have these people, preaching in his name, preaching sin as though sin were normal. But of course, it has to be said that this particular man that runs this organization, and I'll name him, he's called Steve Chalk. Last time I saw him, he was just calling himself Reverend Steve Chalk, which of course is an abhorrent title. I am entitled to use it, and when I'm signing passport applications for people, then I will use it. But generally speaking, Reverend is utterly abhorrent to us, isn't it? Completely abhorrent. But then there is, or Chalky, yes, all right. And then there is the Reverend Canon bit. Now, this guy's called Reverend Canon Steve Chalk. And I wondered, where the hell did they get this idea of canon from? Where did he get the idea of canon? I mean, honestly, canon meaning not canon as in big gun, but canon as in straight edge. Where did they get that idea from? I don't know. This is just completely bonkers. It just doesn't come from anywhere that we know, does it? So the reason where it came from, and I had to look and do some research here, this man was appointed a Reverend Canon, a canon, an ecumenical canon, no less, in Southwark Cathedral in London, which is Anglican as far as I'm aware. He is being honoured by the ecumenicals as though he is formerly a Baptist man, and now as a Baptist man, he is going to try and pass himself off as some kind of interfaith thing, ecumenical thing, along with all the garbage of the Anglicans and all the rest of it, to try and suck in biblical Christians into the camp of the abominable befrocked. And the frocks honour him and recognise him. Isn't that obscene? I should blooming think so. Absolutely sick and wicked it is. Terribly, terribly wicked. Now, I have to say, just at this particular time, is that I have lost my screen. I can't see your comments, and I can't see anything at the moment, but I know you can see me, so I'll continue just for the moment, because at the moment I can't actually stop to answer any of your questions or whatever. I just can't see anything on the screen. I've got this problem with my computer at the moment, so unless I stop the stream and start it again, which may be a good idea. So hang on, let me just stop the stream and start again. This is Chrome playing up. It does this, my computer. I'm going to have to probably change it at some particular point, but we'll see. I have no idea what the issue is. But let me just close this down a moment and start again.